Send videos to clients like topless all the time.
Oh no!
I realized halfway through, and I'm like,
that's what rappers do.
Yeah, I know exactly. I got blunt my mouth, hair all messy.
Yeah. I feel like I'm getting secondhand high off this weed.
I think you are too.
Yeah, you might be.
Whoa.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Whatever speaks to me, I just do it. Like, just listen to your body. As cliche as that sounds, like, yeah.
And welcome back to another episode of Ellevan Wins Podcast. I'm your host, Ellevan.
My name is Winnie.
And we have a wicked guest today. He is the Irish homie from Time. He is a video and picture creator for the UFC. We have done several fun things together.
Creative director, has worked with the world's biggest brands, and he's a 4-times open heart surgery survivor. Please put your hands together for Killian Sexton.
Thanks for having me, guys. This is awesome.
Thanks for being here, bro.
Yeah, that was good to be here.
Kate, I don't even know where to start because that's a bit of shocking information to get in the intro.
It's a lot.
And when I don't know if I fully knew that. And when I read it in your bio, I was like, wait, what? Because you're a young fella.
Yeah. Literally, birthday coming up now in a couple of weeks. It'll be 37. It's crazy, like...
Me too. When's your birthday?
27th of April.
29th.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And you're both turning 37?
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
A couple of 36-year-old Taurians I'm hanging out with over here.
36 going on 16.
I know, I love it.
Right?
Dude, you have such a youthful energy. You're such a light. You've created like amazing things right in front of me, with me. I've seen you go on amazing journeys since we've met. And I want to get into your whole story, but just like right off the top, why don't you just kind of update the people with like what you're doing lately? Because we could take it back from when we first met. Cut to you and Niall at my place, 10 a.m. during the world record year, and we had that
like
Gary
9 years ago or something.
2018, so 7 years ago.
Feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
I know, right? Because we've both all grown so much. The Toronto kind of music creative scene brought us together. Our philosophies that are definitely very much rooted in Gary V kind of vibes around that
Uncle
time.
Uncle G.
Uncle G brought them together, and you've since manifested being in his life. You did a song for his show. I think you worked with VaynerMedia, right?
A couple of years, yeah.
So, I mean, why don't you just kind of tell us like a bit of your background and kind of get to what you want to get to, just to let the people know how
100%.
how you're getting down.
So basically, I'll go way back. So born April 27th, 1988. This cute little kid popped out with a little bit of a rough start in life, we'll call it. I was born with a rare condition called truncus arteriosus. Yeah, I never hide things on my social media. I post it all the time, but I don't try to like push it in people's faces too much. If they want to know,
That's
they'll
fair.
know. I was the first ever person in Northern Ireland to survive my type of operation back in '88.
Oh,
which is crazy to think. You know, your parents like sit in the room before the surgery, like, what's the success rate? And they're like, 0.
None.
Oh,
I'm
sure that didn't actually happen, but you know, it's
Holy
a crazy
shit.
thing to think about. And then I came through that like a 9-hour open heart surgery. I was literally just no bigger than a bag of sugar, just probably laying there like getting worked on by these amazing surgeons who saved my life. And then I've got a cool tattoo I can show you. So it's like lucky, the little lucky thing with a 7 of hearts. So basically, it was a little girl who died in a road accident. She was 7, and her heart saved mine. So that's the 7 of hearts. So that's like a big part of my story. Yeah.
that
Oh my
is so
God.
poetic. That is amazing. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
7 of hearts. That's what you got a couple
R.I.P.
tattoos.
Oh
That's
yeah,
beautiful.
I'm starting to get covered. Yeah.
You are art, bro. You have this vivaciousness for life, and dare I say, maybe this kind of flash of what if death, better take advantage of life kind of thing maybe touched you since birth almost. Like how?
Yeah, it's just that appreciation of still being here, you know.
Yeah.
I know it's cliche, but you've got one go on the spinning rock. Why not fucking give it everything? Like, and really go for it. Like,
Yes.
that's the way I see it. My dad and mum's always instilled it in me. They've never treated me any different as my other brothers growing up. They just threw me around. They never mollycoddled me, sort of.
Right.
Just treated me. I lived out in the country, so like living in the city now is completely different to where I grew up. Like, you open my back door, it'd be million fields, cows,
Okay.
hay bales. We'd be little shits fucking pushing them down the hill, and the farmers would be chasing us over the fields. Just my whole life I've just been a little bit of a menace.
Yes.
But not like not bad
The
intentional, but
sweetest
like just like a bit of a
menace.
playful fun.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun to fuck around.
And then carrying off. Oh yeah, for sure. Carrying off from that, like my dad was a wedding photographer. So that's kind of where it kind of started, where my love for like picking up the camera. And he always had like the little dad cam, around Christmas time. He'd film us coming in and getting all the Christmas presents and all.
Right. So you've seen him start to go with it, and then did you kind of get fascinated with photography early because of that?
Photography and video. I've always been a healthy mixture of both. I like just a variety of everything in media.
Can we switch? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Keep going. My neck.
Oh, yeah?
Go this way. I need to change
Your neck,
sides.
my back. What about?
I love
I'll
that.
not go there.
I'm
My
so
back's
sorry.
a little bit stiff at the minute.
Just like a random
Of course.
audible call by me. I'm just
We
like,
did like a magic trick. Well, that actually brings me on to one of the stories
my back
because
feels so much better now.
yeah, this is my good side.
That's amazing. It's good to see you. The
was
other
like-
side was good too.
I was gonna say actually with the whole dad cam thing. I remember my high school friends, like we were like, Jesus, 10, 11, coming around the house, and I'd
Yes.
take dad's camera out of the cupboard and we'd film these things called. We called it Dooley's Magic Show.
Oh.
Shout out Enda Doole, high school friend.
Hey.
And before I knew what editing was or any of this sort of shit, we'd like set up the camera and just like this, you were on this side, and then all of a sudden we'd click our fingers, and then you'd be on this side.
Well, we're gonna do that then now, aren't we, Benny?
3, 2, 1. There it
Hey.
is.
So
I guess we should have clicked on the other side too.
Oh, true. We can do that in post. I'll edit it.
But yeah, you do have this vivacious energy for life, and also like literally you're saying I'll edit it. Like I wouldn't put it past you, bro. Like you would. Like
Yeah.
you're down to clown. You're down to content create. And I think in this landscape of being like a creative entrepreneur, that is the energy and attitude you got to go forward with. And it's like kind of Chance the Rapper made that evolution in music, where it's like we used to have to, like in the business structure of being a musician, you got paid for the music up front, right, by a label or like your ticket splits or whatever. And it's like, and he's like, no, you got to give the music for free. So you got to take on the burden cost of sustaining while you develop it. But it's easier to enter a marketplace that way because you already have proven concept. So you can, sustain yourself. So what gave you that grit? Because I have a hunch that it's like unbuyable. Or did you learn it through school?
Definitely not school.
Yeah.
I was that little shit in school who like never would listen. I'd be doing magic tricks to all my friends, and they'd be like, "Killian, pay attention." And then out in the schoolyard or playground, my guys watching back home were gonna rinse me for using like Canadianized words. Now they're like, I remember saying I was just back in Ireland there last week, and I'd be like, I'll have to pop to the mall and get something. They're like, "Who are you anymore? The mall? I was the mall."
The mall.
Yeah.
What do they say? The shops?
Just a shopping center.
The shopping center.
Shopping center with the mall. But yeah.
The mall.
Yeah. So like in the playground, I would just be. I remember very vividly years ago, my first ever like entrepreneurial memory was like. Do you remember I was huge into WWF back in the Attitude Era? Like the Hardy Boys were my boys.
Yo.
Like, the fucking Swanton
So,
Bomb.
the Swanton Bomb and those army matching army.
The ripped nets and all that sort of
yeah,
stuff.
the tag team duo of all time, Dudley and.
Oh, the Devon Dudley and
yeah.
Bubba Ray Dudley, I think it was.
Yeah, so good. I love them.
Yeah, huge into WWF. And then back whenever.
D-Generation X.
Oh, 100%.
Stone Cold Steve
All
Austin.
them ones. But remember, Kid Rock came out with a song called American Badass.
Yeah.
American Badass. I loved that song. That went all around our school. Like everyone would be singing it in the playground and all. And then I remember it played on our radio in the house, and I had like the tape recorder and tape. I'd record it perfectly on the radio, trying to stop it before the presenter would come in.
Yeah.
This is radio 2.9. You
Yeah.
just cut it off perfectly so the song started and ended. And then
Making mixtapes with the record thing, yeah.
But before even like lyrics were a thing, you can Google any lyric in the world. Say Post Malone lyric, whatever.
Yeah.
They didn't have that because the internet was barely even a thing. And I'd go into Microsoft Word 95 or whatever the hell it was, and like I'd listen the same like 10 seconds over and over again and write out the lyrics of the song.
Amazing.
So I'd sell them in the playground, sell the tape for like £5 and sell the tape with the lyrics for like £8.
Bro, and these lyrics were handwritten out?
They're probably fucking 80% of it was wrong. But people didn't know because they have no fact check. They couldn't Google it.
Oh my God, not Killian's tape said this, bro. You were out here
Yeah.
hustling,
That
selling
is
tapes.
legendary.
Oh, yeah.
That would afford me like sweets and buy fireworks to blow up in the fields.
Killian was selling stolen music to buy sweets and fireworks. I love
Allegedly.
this.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. I love this little Irish shit kicker story that you are in.
Oh, there's
this
many of them if
scenario.
you want more. It's that sort of shit.
That's beautiful, yeah.
My
Else-
nephew is 6, and he just decided he was going to start selling candles that he
Candles?
was going to make.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no.
Fair play. I feel like the entrepreneurship of kids coming up nowadays is unbelievable.
Yeah.
With TikTok
Anything's-
and yeah,
You get a phone, you get a Square account, you get a Stripe account.
Etsy, all that sort
You're
of stuff.
a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you get a PayPal, you can receive money, and just like kids are so with it, man. So,
So you're a baby and you have open heart surgery.
Yeah, we're jumping all over the place.
then
yeah.
then you're
It's all good. That's my life. I'm just
yeah.
a big mismatch of whatever.
Then you're in the playground selling mixtapes,
Yeah.
and then what's happening when you're getting out of high school or you're trying to choose a job or what field to go into?
Fair. So I remember I always wanted to be an architect because my uncle, R.I.P., was an architect, a really respected architect. And I always did that creative, like drawing at school. Like art was the only subject ever that I passed. I got an A in art. All the rest was like
Yeah.
D's and G's. I remember actually it's so hilarious because I've traveled the world, and what did I get in my geography? I got a U, ungraded.
Yeah.
Like I've traveled the world, but I can't even spell my own name on the geography
Yeah.
paper.
Couldn't point out your own country on a map.
But again, go back to like loving art and always being creative. And
Let's take a moment from this episode to talk about our friends at Jump Comedy. Oh God, how grateful I am that this exists. I got booted from the other Orange platform. We're not talking about that though. I want to talk about the benefits of our friends here at Jump Comedy. It's a platform that's created and co-founded by people in the industry and with a great developer and engineer that's identified so many of the pain points of managing an event. It speaks to an event producer like mine's soul.
Jump Comedy has comprehensive tools for managing your team's functions at an event, like extended check-in pages, the ability to sell gift cards to your event beforehand, low transaction fees, yes, and gives artists their money right away the next day at 11.
So you can have it to produce your event. Duh. It also has custom home pages with the ability to take control and design the landing page yourself, and even gives you your own URL. The major way to stay independent. We're now rocking with Jump Comedy.
Sign up now and start selling immediately. No annoying pop-ups and roadblocks, just helpful and simple ways to make producing your event easier.
It's funny, the founder of the company's actual goal is for you to spend less time on the platform. Get in, get out, get your money, join Jump Comedy now.
I'm good. I'll pass it on. I'll end up
Thanks.
being weird as hell. Guinness will do me, but appreciate
Cheers,
it.
eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we never drink, but we
Cheers.
had to have a Guinness with an
course.
Irishman.
Love the cup. Very fancy. It looks like an espresso martini or something.
Yeah,
But at school, as I said, just doing magic tricks. And on the weekends, I was big into my skateboarding. I had a cool little, small little crew, I should say, in our hometown.
Skateboarding?
Yeah, exactly. Shout out. We were kind of like we weren't like the losers in school, but we were a bit different because in Ireland it's very much you play Gaelic football or hurling. They're very like Irish centric sports.
Yeah.
Whereas I never had any interest in that at all. I like just do my own thing and like challenging myself.
You're kind of cool.
I'll take it.
To an American,
No,
you
for
kinda
sure.
like-
Skating. I don't even. I always think back what got me into skateboarding. I can't even remember. I think maybe it was like watching Back to the Future. Remember you had the hoverboard. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that is fucking cool as shit.
That was so
when that
cool.
comes out, I'm going to know how to ride it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then remember
It's Tony Hawk. Remember, did you get those Tony Hawk video games?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
All the I was gonna say it wasn't even DVDs. It was probably VHS back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then DVDs and
Those skate
buying all the
videos.
decks and putting them up my wall. And
Yeah, the
take
decks.
pictures in the magazines, posting them on my wall.
I
all
used
that
to
sort
like,
of stuff.
like I got an Elements board, and
Element
I
were
like
good, yeah.
put together like the perfect truck board, wheels and bearings combo, like at the skate shop. That shit was awesome.
100%.
Such a culture.
That actually reminded me again. Go back to my little menaceness. Remember for Christmas, there's a skateboard I really wanted, these wheels and trucks, and as you say, the combo. And it was kind of at that stage where I was like, is Santa real? Is it not real?
Yeah.
Right.
And then my parents went off to the town or went to work or whatever the hell they were doing. And I remember sneaking up into their bedroom and like huffing in the cupboards trying to say, like, there has to be some toys in here somewhere. Because I knew, I was like, did I get the skateboard or not? And I went through opened up the last cupboard. The bottom there was the wheels, but I remember thinking they were the wrong size. They were the vert ramp wheels.
Oh my
Because Mum wouldn't have known.
No.
But I remember trying to pretend on Christmas Day, like, oh, these wheels are so cool.
Ah.
But they were the wrong wheels, and I always remember that. Being like, you got the wrong wheels.
Yeah, they just don't know.
Yeah, sorry, Mum.
Was this before the gift receipt?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'd probably just acted like they were. I
It was
loved them. And
perfect.
I used them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were
exactly.
like, I'm not
Well,
breaking my mom's heart right
Exactly,
now.
exactly.
Aw.
So I have a heart. even though it's a little bit messed up. But, but yeah.
Oh,
and then,
man.
that kind of leads on to, like, at the end of school, I remember, like, there was a careers subject where you had a careers advisor who would, like, advise you what's the next steps. I definitely didn't have enough points, or, like, I wasn't bright enough to go to university straight away. So, and then this is kind of like whenever media was coming into high schools. I think it was the year after I left was the first ever time media was, like, a part of the curriculum. And then my mom actually worked in benefits for, like, a government job back home. She worked kind of, like, in the careers department, and she's seen this new, like, course coming up in further college. It was called tech back then. It's kind of like the in between university and school.
Yeah.
Figuring out what you want to do for 2 years. There was this new media production and performing arts course. She was like, this sounds like something you'd like to do. Why not do it? And then I signed up
Your
for
mom
it.
is lovely.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's the best.
She
Like,
has phenomenal
she's the
style as well.
best. Oh, she'll love that. Clip that.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Cheers, Mama Sexton.
Mm-hmm. Cheers, Mom Sexton.
You made beautiful boys, and you are beautiful yourself.
That's it.
Cheers to that.
So I remember I did 2 years of media production and performing arts. Absolutely loved it. Just that's when, you know, the whole cliche, I found my passion. So I was
Nice.
always making skateboard movies and, like, parkour movies around the town.
Yo.
Kind of subconsciously honing my craft and getting angles and, like, editing and, like, Windows Movie Maker was
Isn't
back
it
in the day.
fun?
Yeah. Oh, I still like. People love, like, they're gamers, like they love playing video games. That is my video game. Like, when I sit down, it just feels like a video game to me.
Dude, that's what I fucking say too. Benny
Yeah.
feels the same. I'm editing these vlogs right now, and I'm just like, yeah, I feel like I'm kind of getting in this mixed of creative flow game time.
Oh, 100%.
For
You
sure.
get in the flow, you put your headphones in, you're like, holy shit, I've been here for 8 hours.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
But no, 100%. I always, like, liken it to, like, Tetris in a way.
You're finding the perfect
It's
fits.
going to get to fit it in and you have the perfect cuts. And
Can I ask you
There is a perfect.
if this happens, and I'll ask you too, but if this happens, because he'll be like, I think it's done. And then
never
he'll be
done.
like, come watch it with me. And I'll be like, okay, cool. I'm sitting down for anywhere between a 5-15 minute video. And from the time that I sit down, it's like an hour. Like, he starts editing immediately right away after I sit down. Like, it's never.
I'm like, didn't you notice just that one thing? Like, it just needed to be done. Like, it's like I press play, and then right away I'm like, oh, that's not colored the same as the other ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Pull it back out, and then I go right in and I color that one clip, and then I watch it in procession until the next one. I'm like, that's not stabilized. Back out
Yeah.
from full screen mode.
Yeah.
Stabilize
You're
that clip.
speaking my language,
Move
yeah.
on. And you're just like, fucking, you have to just
That must be
constantly
so
massage.
annoying.
To other people, it's not. To me, I've like all these years later, I still love it. Honestly, I don't know about you.
You gotta
the,
love
the
it.
part of editing is like chop editing, as it's called, is where you have to go through all the footage and find the good bits. That bit fucking annoys me sometimes. But like once you get through it, you're like, right, now's the fun part.
It
Begins.
feels like
Yeah.
popping a pimple or having a shower. To me, like getting like, oh, that was a waste of 30 seconds. Yuck.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this is dirt.
Satisfaction.
It is satisfying to a certain degree.
Then as you were saying there as well, when you're watching like a 10-15 minute video, instead of watching the video along with someone, I don't know if you do the same, I watch them, but make it look like I'm not watching them, kind of like side eye.
Oh,
To see when they're like kind of
I'm
dipping off and like watching, they're like, okay, I need to change that bit. That's not holding their attention.
That's
I gotta
right.
Get back in there.
Totally. We're getting
Fix that
data,
up.
bro. We're getting data. That's even when I show Winnie these things, I'm even like watching her, like, what does she
Yeah.
laugh at? And
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
awesome. So many hours of reps that you have to just do that for.
Oh, I'd love to know how many hours like if it, that's been logged.
Like
Sitting
if-
on the computer editing. Holy shit, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
that's
much of
that's
your
the
time.
10,000
Yeah,
hours.
literally. Oh, 10,000 hours doesn't even have a look in.
You know?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
Okay,
probably
so
triple that.
we're at, you did 2 years of tech.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, did
Performance.
that. Absolutely loved that. Like the best teachers ever. They were just like, when I think back now, they're probably a little bit older than me, like 40. When you're a 17-year-old, you think every teacher's old. They were
Yeah,
like
I
the cool
know.
hip teachers. They were like our age now.
Yeah,
So
they're
like-
like 41 tops.
Yeah, you're like they just got it. They literally let us a free rein. I remember making like a short movie. It was called Dead Man's Hand. I've been trying to get a hold of my tech buddies from years ago to see if they still have that
See if
video,
you
so
can
I
do
can
it.
so I can sort of bring it back from the dead. sort of
Oh,
thing.
that'd be great.
I can't fucking find it. I'm so annoyed. I'm such a nostalgic person. I love just looking back
We
on
need
the
it.
old things. Like
I feel you.
yeah, Actually, another tangent as well. You'll notice this, I go off on tangents, but make sure that
So
you
do
can pull me back in
stoners.
again.
Yeah.
That's perfect. You're
Yeah.
on brand,
Yeah.
even if you're not smoking.
Let's go.
Tangible.
So nostalgic. I always remember the best ever Christmas present I got was my mum gave me like a little. It almost looked like a engagement ring box. I'm like, what the hell is this? He gave it to me, to all my other. I have 3 brothers, and then she goes, as she was giving it out to us, she's like, "This is your life." And we're like, "What the hell do you mean?" We opened up the box. It was in like a little like satin bag. Opened up, was a USB pen. She took in all our VHS tapes and digitized them. So
Oh.
yeah, so we could like look back in our life. It's
Way to make us
fucking-
fall in love with your mom even more.
I'm sure Dad has something to do with that as well, so we'll give Dad a shout out as well. Feel like
Shout
he
out
hasn't got to mention it all.
Pops too.
Yeah. But
But-
that was unbelievable. I remember that.
Beautifully done.
But then Tech, we made this movie. I just remember falling in love with it. There were so many different like modules where there was like you could sort of steer. I like this. I don't really like script writing as much. Performing arts, I'm not really much of an actor. But like when it came to editing and like cinematography and setting up the angles and editing, that was like I was like the top of the class always and that sort of stuff. And that afforded me enough points to get onto university. And like if you had asked my parents out of the 4 boys which one would have went to university, fuck, no chance I was there. Like,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
at the bottom of that list. Like
You're in the
Yeah.
fields fucking with firecrackers, like you're letting off fucking
Literally.
candy sprees.
I didn't give a shit about university, like honestly. And but anyway, yeah, I got enough points, got in, and then going back to that careers advisor story after tech as well. I had the same conversation with someone. There was a new course as well since media production. There was another one called interactive media that just opened up at the university in Coleraine, it's a town back home. I was like, which one should I do? Like they were getting advice off them. There was media production or this new one called interactive media arts. And thinking back now, it's a pretty obvious choice which one I should have picked, but I went for interactive media arts, thinking I'll try something different. Like for 3 years, let alone that I realized it was the wrong course. We were like listening to silent German films, having to write like 10,000 word essays. Where I'm looking out the window, and there's people like making little movies out in the car park, and I'm like, I fucking picked the wrong one. And then I went tried to change courses, but there was too many filled in the timetable, so I couldn't change. So I just stuck it out for 3 years. And honestly, I fucking hated university. Like,
Bro.
Jesus, you stuck it out for 3 years.
yeah.
That's too long to be
intense,
patient.
man.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Why did you put yourself through that?
That's a very good question. I have no idea because I'm not a patient guy. I've learned to be more patient over the years. But thinking back now,
When you're younger too, you're just like, I don't know. You're just like, I'm just gonna fucking do this now. Like,
I'm a very stubborn
I don't
person,
know
so
if
it's that
you-
as well. I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
it's almost like if you dropped out, like people will be thinking, "Oh, you dropped out."
Yeah.
Back then, I don't really give a shit what people think of me now, but back then, you're a different person. You're like,
Totally. Oh, my
That
god.
part too.
I just stopped caring about what people think of me, and I don't know how long that will last.
No, I think it increasingly, as long as you affirm it, that you want to live in your true, authentic self, no matter what the judgment or how you. The thing is, it's not even real. You put it in your head how these other people may feel about you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you stick with that. And then that's like, we just had a guest on Glenn. We were talking about worry. Like, humans are worry machines, like through the mind being overactive, you know? So it's like most times they'd understand anyway. But yeah, the ego has a lot to do with some of the decisions we make because it's like the light that we paint ourselves in. Like now I'm the only kid who gone to university, so I got to do this, or as opposed to checking if it's working. But it definitely gave you like a discipline then.
"Oh, 100%."
Because you gained from that discipline of being in there.
Yeah.
When you left university, what was the vibe? How was the market? Were you in Ireland still?
I was still in Ireland, yeah. I think out of university. So during university, I didn't live the whole university lifestyle of the kids who live down there and just get partying, get fucked up all the time with their
Right.
friends. I had a girlfriend at the time, so I stayed at home to see her.
Nice.
Obviously, that never worked out.
Oh.
And my brother then went to university in Belfast. I was in Coleraine, a different town. And I was like, he needed another person to rent a room because there was 4 rooms and 3 people had the rooms. They needed one more. And I was like, fuck it, I'll just go down to Belfast and figure it out. Like,
Fuck yeah.
so I did that and lived my university lifestyle. Like, even though I wasn't at university technically, I was just actually working for a music publication. I fell in with somebody, same as I always do, reaching out to people I forget. It probably wouldn't have been Instagram back then. It would have been Facebook or
MySpace.
MySpace probably it was, yeah. I probably like, I don't even know what DM or whatever the equivalent was a DM.
The message,
Reaching
private
out-
message.
Yeah, reaching out to like these different promoters and like people who ran magazines, just saying if you ever need a photographer.
Yeah.
I ended up like working with some really cool bands, like Two Door Cinema Club, who are huge now. Like I photographed them when they were nobody's playing in front of like 20 people.
Nice.
Like General Fiasco was a huge big band back home that I know personally. they've went on to really good things. Just honing my craft, just shooting like promo videos. We'd set up like almost like the studio here in our like university dorm. I'd hang like, I remember one shoot we did with a band called Color Arcade, I think they were called. So shout out you if you're still around. But we bought a load of like cheap white bed sheets and hung them up, taped them to our roof and the floor and all. And obviously the name of the band's Color Arcade. So we had like, so one of the boys had a UV light.
Oh.
So we turned off the lights, had the UV light on, and then we started splashing paint all over them, and I was getting photographs.
Yes.
Of faces completely covered. It was way ahead of its time.
That is fire.
It was so cool, and it turned out really, really good. We all just got hammered drunk just in the apartment, just having fun. We went out to see a gig after that, but
That's good.
they're like you think back, like they're like the best moments of your life.
Yeah.
Like,
So
You're
good.
just creating, just free and open, and
no
fucking time.
no
to be
pressure,
in the
just having fun. Like it was great.
Live your life,
And then we were
dude.
going back home and working like a shitty supermarket job on the weekends, just
Yeah.
to pay the bills, you know.
Shit.
I was
Yeah.
a Dairy Queen girl.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Blizzard.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. You know this. Silly. You know the swirl that they put on top of the DQ swirl on top of the cone, the ice cream cone.
You mean like the
When
the
they
Blizzard?
close
Oh,
off
the actual
soft
cone of the
serve.
Blizzard.
Cone.
Okay.
Soft
I don't think I've
serve.
ever had one. I've only ever had one Blizzard before.
What?
Yeah.
Do you like ice cream?
I am a pretty big ice cream fan because one of my family's cousins back home, they owned an ice cream shop in our local town. It was
Yeah.
like not worldwide. It was like province known. Everyone would come far and wide on Sundays after chapel and church to come
That's
get that ice
amazing.
cream. So I was kind of reared on ice cream. I remember Mum telling me stories. They would liquefy it down and put it in like a baby bottle, and they would feed us it as a baby. Like so, I was reared on ice cream. Like
That's
yeah.
amazing because it's just. I bet there's lots of calcium in it.
Yeah. We're taking fucking ripped.
Keeps you strong.
But I'm just trying to think after that then.
Yes,
so many-
Belfast,
so many-
best time of your life.
So many different stories in Belfast, like of just getting into weird situations. I remember a house party, we get so drunk and it was kind of like during like, what do you call it over your freshers? Like the first week when everyone goes to college, they move into the university dorms.
Oh yeah.
It was just a huge street party of
Froshing.
thousands of people, parties all over the place, and like it would go start in the morning. Before you know it, there would be rock the boat lines. Literally, there was one like 2 miles long throughout the university dorms. And it
Wow.
made it on the local newspaper and all. One of my mates was literally started at the front. You know, the rock the boat.
Yeah.
It went on for miles, and then that kind of led on to the night. There was parties all over the. It was
That's
called
hilarious.
Holy Lands was the name of the estate of all the houses where all these kids would just trash the
Frats,
houses.
right?
Remember one time I went into a party, drunk as hell. 2 a.m. I left with a stick of butter and a toaster under my arm because I think our toaster broke or something, so I just lifted it out of their house and just walked out with a random
Everything but
toaster.
bread. You're
Yeah.
the bread.
Yeah, I don't know why that popped
Butter's
into my
a
head,
good
but yeah.
steal, though.
Oh yeah,
Amazing.
it's expensive now.
Yeah, it is.
We could, any butter in that fridge over there?
There is, yeah.
Check my pockets for
Want
a
some? Yeah, sir, your pockets are melting.
You're like, what's that dripping down your leg? You nervous?
Are you wetting yourself right now? Oh, it's sludgy. Are you?
It smells so good, but
Yeah. Yo, so you taught yourself this like kind of party mentality, but you're activating, and you're always in a mode of activating. And I seen you do some cool stuff with your brother that took place, but then it led you to Gary V. Can you tell me about this experience and your mentality going into that mission? You traveled to LA, you ended up going to New York, you ended up linking up with Gary V. You did a song for him. Did that happen first? I never really got it directly.
for sure. Actually, there was a couple of points I forgot to mention before that about
Okay.
like how I like had appreciation for like viral videos and like how the internet can literally just take one thing and run with it and it just blows up. Remember like early days, I maybe would have been 7 or 8. Me and one of my brothers, there's this show in the UK called You Been Framed. It's basically like, you know, kids do the funniest things version of North America. You'd submit videos and they would like accept the better ones and play them on, and we used to fake all these videos to try and get on the show so much, but this one actually happened naturally where we had a bunch of VHS tapes in our living room, and we thought it'd be a good idea to build it up into a big massive like triangle. We got to near the top and it was like nearly higher than our head, like, and we put the last one on, the whole thing came crumbling down, and my reaction, I like bust out crying. I was like, oh no, it stormed off, and I was like, that's a pretty natural clip. So we sent it into You Been Framed, and sure enough it got used on the show. So we were watching ourselves on TV, on national TV, being like, there's us. So that was giving me like this holy shit, you know, it feels good to like see yourself on national TV and like.
Did they tell you that they were going to use it? Or
Yeah,
did,
no.
okay,
It took like 6 years for the clip to actually get used and get paid to get that 250 quid. But I ended up getting it and probably spent it. I don't know, something dumb like. But
6 years.
yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was
That's
mad.
hilarious.
But I just remember, I never forget that feeling. It's now having like half my clips, or a lot of them go super viral, but that still made me feel better than seeing a video that has 50 million views. Seeing myself on my TV watching it with my family, being like, "There's us like on
Yeah, we
TV.
did
Like,
it.
that's the video I made. Like,
Yeah,
what the
that-
hell? This is weird."
Totally.
And then another one was back in my parkour days.
Parkour days.
Parkour. Yeah.
Back in my parkour days,
Yeah.
man, the stories that start with that sentence. Please continue.
Well, I did it for like 10 years. I was in love with parkour.
You were jumping
Oh, dude, all the flips and all. I was pretty good at it. Like, yeah.
on over roofs
Oh, I'd do like flips over like 15-foot roofs and all.
through Ireland.
Oh yeah, through our hometown. Like, and then
Bro.
and remember one time the police caught hold of the YouTube video. I remember the first ever YouTube video I posted. I ended up getting like 15,000 views. Back in 2006, I was like 15 million views,
Yeah.
and I was like, holy shit, I'm about to make it. And then the police seen it, and they made a write-up article in a newspaper. These young daredevils jumping around our town, like negative connotations, and I like, shit myself. So I deleted the video on the YouTube account. Thinking back, I'm like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
So I did that, and I ended up I bounced back at them, and I found the journalist who wrote it, and asked him to sit down for coffee, and like try to explain my side of the story. It's more like getting people out, like from sitting at home playing video games all day, getting out and being active. It's a really good thing. So they made this 2-page spread in like one of our local newspapers. So again, like going in, buying that in the morning, and looking at it's almost like a fuck you to them, sort of. You know, like we're actually doing something. We're like getting active and like having fun, expressing ourselves creatively,
Yeah.
making videos with it. And then it led on to like, you know, Nokia, or Nokia as you call it, the phone brand. They put up a competition way back in 2008 or something, advertising make a parkour based video around a Nokia phone. My brother had a Nokia phone at the time, so we took to my bedroom. We started scripting out like an idea for this video. It was like it turned into like a chase scene around our country lane. So my brother, the whole premise was he'd be studying on the bed, to go through his papers. The phone would be sitting there, and I'd come through the room and do like a double take and see his phone. The whole idea, I would steal the phone, put it in my pocket, and then run away. And they would start this whole like chase scene around the neighbourhood, or our country lane as it was. We'd be jumping over fences into our neighbours' gardens, up onto their roofs. Up and down, and then at the end there was like a funny twist. I always like to bring a bit of comedic value into my sort of stuff. And then he jumped up under a roof. He was about to pull himself up. I ran over, like yanked his trousers down and pulled him off, and the phone was obviously in the trousers. And then he was like, I got it. So he got the phone back. That was the payoff, and then that was the funny bit at the end. And then it went to like a vote, like worldwide, through the Nokia website. Vote for your favorite video. Maybe a few months went on, and we won the fucking thing.
Holy
In front of,
shit, dude.
there was hundreds of thousands of people, maybe tens of thousands of people in it, and we won like an all expenses paid parkour trip to the birthplace of parkour in
Brazil?
Nice, in France.
In France.
Like 30 kilometers outside of Paris. And I could bring 2 friends. I brought my girlfriend at the time and one of my good parkour friends. The 4 of us, all expenses paid, just bouncing around Paris, just doing parkour. It was unbelievable. Like, yeah.
Whoa! All expenses
So
paid
you've
trip
been
to
doing
France.
this.
That's what I'm saying. People
Yeah.
say it's not an overnight
Competing.
success. I've been working this for years. Like,
Yeah.
You're not
You know?
scared to compete, enter a contest, do the work, toss your hat in the ring.
100%.
Risk the time.
Yeah.
That's the vibe.
I remember like going through our town and like posting on Facebook or Bebo it was. I don't know if you guys had Bebo over here. It was like a social media
I don't think
platform.
so.
Every day just spamming people like, go vote for us, go vote for us as the winner.
So you're on it.
Oh, you have to be like,
You have to
Yeah.
be, exactly. That's what people are like, oh,
What
yeah.
year was this?
this would have been 2008.
That's crazy, dude. That was still like Facebook had just been started at that point, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
YouTube was only 2 years old, a couple of years old.
End of 2005, I think it started 2006.
I had a YouTube channel in 2006.
Same thing.
And
Yeah.
then I was doing these comedy skits 2007. And then I met Winnie end of 2008 and we were doing comedy skits.
Nice.
And then we had a channel called Comedy Anatomy. And we
Nice.
moved to LA when we were 20 to pursue that.
So around the time you did the moped tour, or was that after that?
No, that was after that. That was 2016.
Oh, shit.
That's
Way
6
wrong.
years later.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I did busking the next year, and then I did the world record the next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically Comedy Anatomy, 2010, Los Angeles. this is just the good version of that. It's like you realize
We put our skits on a DVD
Oh,
to
shit.
sell them at farmers markets.
There you go. We're just alike. We're trying to sell our stuff. Like that.
I
We're just selling.
I remember being in the comedy store finally got to the main stage in the back room in the green room, and like the headlining act that night, I like slipped in my comedy DVD.
Oh
Nice.
my god, and it was so
That's
bad.
the only with DJs nowadays. Or USB. There we go.
Check it
Just
out,
play that,
man.
yeah.
You know what? He appreciated the hustle. All
Oh,
the
100%,
all the
like,
covers were hand
I feel like
drawn.
the real people do appreciate the people like.
Yeah. They're like, these are
Thinking
trash
outside the box and
skits,
doing that, like,
but
yeah.
at least this kid is trying to fucking
I
share
feel
his
like
work.
Yeah.
a hand-drawn cover would go over better now
Now.
than it did in 2012.
Then it was like halfway necessary or too cheap to print covers.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh,
Now it's
that's
all
really
vintage. It's
yeah,
like
it's vintage
retro.
and unique and like
indie and
Yeah.
grunge.
Yeah.
yeah, it's so true.
That's mad.
So yeah, you're not afraid to take the risk, and that's really important.
Definitely not.
So then, yeah, tell me how this Gary Vee stuff then came to life.
Yeah, so that was kind of around the time when there was this thing called the pandemic. I'm not sure if you heard about it. It was kind of a big deal.
I don't watch the
I don't
news.
know what you're talking
me
about.
either. But fuck, that was a shit show. We'll not get into that. We can talk for 4 hours on that. But yeah, everything was locked down. Nobody could go into the office. Nobody could do anything. At the time, I was working in a bar, a restaurant in downtown here, as well as like just sort of hustling, making my own like freelance videos here and there, just trying to make it work. And then I seen an advert for on Team Gary V's Instagram being like, "This is the first time ever we're hiring global creators. Normally, you always had to be in the office." So I was like, "Fuck, this is my opportunity now."
Nice.
Yeah. Actually, sorry, that's actually a lie. I'll backtrack a couple of months. The whole jingle, the rap, my fucking debut. How did I glaze over that?
I feel like something,
I feel like I'm getting
happened
secondhand
before that.
high off this weed.
I think you are too.
Yeah, you might be. Sorry
Whoa.
about that.
You
That's all good.
definitely
I did smoke
That's
a
why
beat,
we
but-
put it in the disclaimer.
But
Didn't
you
read
get
it.
your beer. Yeah, didn't read it.
My ADHD would not let me read that shit. Except, I'm coming on. I know these guys are fine.
Well, that's fair.
But, oh yeah, so that's what it was. So lockdown happened, all that shit. And then Gary Vee came up with this thing called Tea with Gary Vee. Remember, it was like a morning breakfast show where he'd come on, answer business questions and entrepreneurial, just to try and help their pain points. And then I'd tune in every morning and watch it because I was just obviously big into my media. I love Gary Vee, like his motivation. Like, obviously, I've been through a lot in my life, just trying to keep a positive mental attitude. And like he was like my online mentor for that. I loved him. Like my mum would tell stories. You'd hear in my earphones. I'd put on his like keynotes and just be sleeping, listening to him for hours. So constantly having positivity in my ears.
He is very good when you are going through that struggle of trying to break away from trying the norm and like to take a chance on yourself, but and then also do the hard work, and then also do
patience.
the fucking. I don't want to meditate because I don't want to lose the fire that's in me. And it's like, you can relax your neck.
I know,
But
it's like Steve-O.
I took a lot. He is his inspiration. You know that the whole world record was based off of. Like that.
that's-
So I have mad respect for
That was
you
unbelievable.
manifested him closer into your life, I think, by
Yeah.
listening.
So then watching that show, there was a intro jingle, that little fun little 15, 20-second jingle at the start. I'd hear it every single morning. I'd be like, it's pretty good, like, but I could probably do it a bit better, not gonna lie. Like, humble brag. And then I took to my room.
I didn't even know this guy raps.
Oh, I don't rap. I don't rap
But
at all.
you
But
do.
I've always had a love for rap. Like back in the day, growing up, Eminem, 50 Cent, all that sort of stuff. I
He got some he got some flows, man.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Comes
bro.
from you. That's sick.
Come on.
Yeah, I just maybe I don't know his confidence, whatever. I just because back in Ireland, like you're a rapper. Obviously, with Kneecap and all leading the way, they're absolutely doing amazing things. So maybe if it was a different time, I maybe would have jumped in and actually tried to write an actual song.
But you did. You
I
put
guess I
this
did,
together and
yeah.
sent it to.
So I took to my bedroom. My brother Niall, which I'm sure we'll get into, is a really good music artist too, which they've worked with together. So I took his his recording mini studio and took it into my room, kind of like embarrassingly, and waited for them to kind of go out to work. And then I was sitting writing. I was like thinking what Gary would really like, what words would resonate with him. And then in my head, I've already got the video plan. Like, I've certain words I would use. I could pull from footage from like all his videos. He's got a plethora of fucking videos online.
Nice.
Unlimited. So then I
Already thinking how to incorporate his content.
Yeah, because whether you like it or not, people like to hear themselves.
Give value.
Yeah, exactly. Hard work and patience. Shout out
Be
Neiman Nas, he does it the best. He's unbelievable. But I took my room, wrote a rap. Turned out really well, actually. I was like fucking surprised myself. Like, Jesus is actually pretty good. No auto-tune, by the way.
Nice.
Did that, and then I got my brother Niall to sing the hook on it. You know that Tea with Gary V, preaching positivity. I'm not even trying to tea. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't have a falsetto.
Now I got runs.
He did that hook at the end, put the video together, and then over time, that's a bit I forgot. I've been kind of like building a relationship in the DMs with Dustin, one of his videographers.
I love how he puts his videographers on, by the way.
Oh, 100%.
He builds the team and
definitely
equips them with
that was a
the
part of the reason I really wanted to go for it as well, because I know how much he respected the team.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of built up a relationship. I was like, how do you get to the big boss at the top? You can't just send one DM. Well, it could happen. You could send one DM and you'll see it, but the chances of that are probably slim to none. And I reverse engineered to see, always talks about how would I get to this big boss. And I thought of it like a ladder. There's rungs in the ladder. One first step, you'd reach out to him, and it would lead on to him, and then Gary would be at the top. So I for about 8-9 months, I was just kind of replying to this guy Dustin's videos. He's big into his BMX, and I was big into my skateboarding, so we have a bit of a connection that way. But not like looking anything off him, just genuinely trying to connect with him.
Yeah.
And then when I felt the time was right, I was like, I'm going to send this video over to him now, this jingle. Because if I send it off to him and he doesn't know me from Adam, he'd be like, who the fuck's this guy?
You put in that time,
Yeah.
bro.
You gotta
Play the long game.
You
Shit.
gotta
The
build
long
the
game.
relationship,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's dope.
So I did that for 9 months and then sent it on to him. And like a week went, I was like, whatever, on to the next one. And then he got back. He obviously wanted his message request. He's seen it. He followed me back. He's like, dude, you made this. This is fucking awesome. We'd love to use it on the show. I'm like, oh. It's like, completed the game. There we go. We got
Yeah,
there.
you looked at that like a level,
Yeah.
and you're like, that's dope.
Did that, and then it got used. And then one of the other guys on the team was like, we'd love to have you on the Tea with Gary V show. I was like, absolutely. So me and Niall went on. We were chatting to Gary for 10-15 minutes about his music, my videography, and just entrepreneurship in general. And he was giving me some really good advice and all that sort of stuff. And then after the call ended, we were like little schoolgirls. Like, it happened.
It's like you guys being on
That's
the
so
America
sweet.
Funny Home Videos. Almost like you were on, like, that's us on the thing.
Yeah,
on
when you
the
watch it
thing
back,
that we
you get
watched.
this feeling of like accomplishment or something.
Yeah, totally.
And then that's what led me on, to the bit whenever it was maybe, it wouldn't have been a year, it would have been a few months later, whenever the global creator position came up. Before that, they'd never hired anyone from around the world. It was just people in the office. So I applied for it and then submitted, obviously, my previous work I've done. Then obviously had this jingle that's been used to strengthen my portfolio. And he's like, have you seen that? I could do this. What else could I do for you? And I sent it in, and then I got obviously onto the next stage, and then went into like 5 or 6 different rigorous interviews. We did like a test video sort of process where they kind of threw us a curveball. I thought maybe make a couple of reels for Gary to see if you're any good at making his style of content. But they went completely left field, and then they sent us an email. You've got 48 hours. We just think of a hypothetical fake bicycle brand it, make a logo for it, make all this sort of stuff, and make a couple of reels for it. I'm like, okay, this is different, but I got it. So I
Logo, concept, brand, texture.
well, technically, it was like just make like social media content around about me being a perfectionist. I like to go above and beyond. And
Well,
stand
if they're
out from the
saying
crowd.
make up a brand, I'm assuming you're going to do all that shit.
To this day, I still think it's absolutely fucking genius. Like the name, I named it Velo because Velo in French is bicycle, and Gary V.
Velo,
Velo.
let's
I'm like,
go.
I don't even know how it just hit
That's
me
a
at one
bar.
day, and I'm like, boom, I got it. That's the
It
name.
just hit you?
Yeah, Velo. It just came to me one time. I don't know what I was doing. Probably drinking Guinness or something. It came to me and I was
So
like,
he lets go. You let go for a minute. Like, you focus on a project, but then you let go. You say, I'm doing that, and I'm going to go have a beer. And then you just let an idea come.
100%. Just whatever speaks to me, I just do it. Like,
Yeah.
just listen to your body, as cliche as that sounds. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And my body said drink.
Yeah.
And celebrate that little small win.
Yes.
So then I took to Illustrator and designed up a really cool logo for Velo. Same thing, did an intro jingle, got my brother to sing like a jingle for Velo. And then when it came to like the end stages, I was talking to like head directors just below Gary. I didn't speak to Gary on the interview process. And then it was like the final interview, and he was like, the reason you really got the job, there was like, I think it was like 2,000 applied for it and 2 people got it, and I was one of them. But the reason was I set up a podcast. I had a friend who had podcast lights and mics and all. We set up like a fake podcast like for 3 minutes, talking about velo, talking about bicycles and Gary Vee and all. We were sitting doing what we're doing right now, like a totally fake. And he's like, no one thought of that. No one thought of doing a podcast about velo. You obviously can think on your own feet.
That's
brilliant. You've got initiative.
You
You're
went
hired.
above and beyond.
Yeah, you had to, like, because I felt like everyone's going to do the same shit. So
everyone's going to have the criteria of just that one little
a couple
ad.
of reels, make a couple of reels. I was like, nah.
And what were the reels that you executed on? You just get stock footage of like bicycles. Stuff.
I remember there was one. It was, I could probably find it if you wanted to overlay it here. I remember there was a Mr. Bean scene where he was on a bicycle overtaking a car because he was cycling so fast, and above his head was like the Velo logo, like motion graphic along with his head. So he was overtaking, and then the van was other brands. So it was Velo overtaking other brands. And then the song was like bicycle, bicycle. It was that kind of like comedy,
nice.
Like short form, like choppy little.
Yeah.
ADHD driven, like retention editing.
Meme culture.
Which worked obviously. So I got the job and.
Quick question about your presentation in Velo.
Quick question.
You had 48 hours to come up with this. Were you submitting at that 48-hour moment, or were you beforehand?
Oh, a little small point I forgot. I actually submitted it from ICU. I forgot about that bit.
Were you having open heart surgery?
Yeah, I had an open heart surgery in 2021. I love I just fucking mulled over that. Yeah, literally. I remember submitting it. I was in ICU in the bed. Yeah, that was insane.
Dude.
I needed something to keep my mind.
You were in
positive and
ICU
active, yeah.
because you were coming out of open heart or going into it?
Out of. It was after it. Yeah.
So did you go into heart surgery before you read the email or after you read the email?
It must have been before. It had to be. Sure, I'll take another one, please. Thank you. But I mean, this whole process, yeah, leading up to the 48 hours, like it wasn't just like got the email 48 hours. They kind of like played you along down the garden path, and then there was like, we're gonna do this bicycle brand idea. Then 48 hours. So
you pitched.
Yeah.
The bicycle brand,
Yeah.
and then you got another 24.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. So it was pretty intense.
That sounds so intense. I don't think I've ever been through anything that intense.
Yeah, I mean, I hope
You live with me.
That's true.
Permanent ICU.
I see you
I sort
every
of meant
morning.
in like
We go
career-wise.
But yeah, that.
So what was it like once you were there in the cot, VaynerMedia, showing up every day, blowing up, don't give a fuck, middle fingers up? What?
So it was. Oh, that's not good. I wasn't actually in the office, as I said.
Okay.
I was just working from home. It was on like a remote job, and then it's just crazy. Like the whole it's like a well-oiled machine. It would like a line in like a factory. Someone would like come up with they were called PSPs, Platform Strategy Producers. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
They'd be in charge of sourcing the clips. Say they'd pick a topic. Obviously, Gary Vee talks about a lot of things. Or not a lot of things, but a lot of things a lot.
Yeah.
Sort of like positivity, for instance, we'll talk about that. Their job would take to YouTube and go through, I don't know how many hours of footage trying to find positivities, things with Gary Vee.
From his content.
From
Podcast.
timestamp 6:05 minutes to 6:35. They'd land that on my desk, technically make something fucking cool out of this. And then I would edit together reels of that, and then once I would do my job, putting all the sprinkles and all on top, pass it on to someone who'd write the copy, and then there'd be someone in charge of posting and all. So it's just such a well-oiled machine how it would work. Like it was crazy to see like the inner workings of it from behind the curtain.
And what was the output? Like, how many videos are we talking?
It was kind of like I was just getting paid per hour, so I would just log my hours. So how many hours I would do. That's the thing with people with shorts. I'm sure you guys will understand from making shorts from the podcast. People really don't understand the amount of work that goes into
It's crazy.
this sort of shit.
Everyone's like, yeah, it's just a piece of your podcast. No, it's
15
not.
minutes you made that little clip, and I'm like, fuck.
No, it's
Try
a
fucking-
whole new little mini universe of its own.
Yep.
That has its own intention, timing, texture, and function. Yeah.
It's just like, as people see like a 15, 30 second video, and they don't understand what goes into it, but it's just it's how they leave it feeling, and that's your job as a creator and an editor to tell that story in 30 seconds. And people don't understand why they got emotional watching a video, or why they got happy, or why they got inquisitive.
Yes.
It's your job to make them feel a certain way at the end of the video, and that was what I specialized in, you know.
And I mean, that's true in life. People don't even remember what you say. People remember how you make them feel.
100%, yeah.
And yeah, we have a couple clips that have done really well, like one with Ava Bell, a comedian, and she's like just talking about I was so mean to myself. You know, like, and it's like, oh, that resonated with people because a lot of people have to work on their inner dialogue and be more kind to themselves. And like, yeah, you're right. It can teach you a lot about the human condition by seeing what content does well. And like when we talked, Benny and I and Winnie and I about like making clips for this, there's this like basic hack language that you have to use. Hack meaning hacking into people's neuro patterns.
Yeah,
like
there's psychology involved.
Pacing and like as you used a couple phrases like the give or the I can't remember what you said now.
Oh, I forget as well. My memory's not good.
Or you know the punchline basically of this story arc.
The button in the comedy, the end. You meant like the hook maybe at the start?
There's so many.
Yeah, there's so many terms.
But I'm just saying, like, it's a whole other thing that honestly you don't think that you're gonna have to do, but it is so important. Basically, if your podcast doesn't have clips, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
it's having the short form as a funnel to drive into the long form.
Yeah. So you took that knowledge and information from working on the line in VaynerMedia. Remotely, and then you put it into now client work that you have. I'm sorry, we're skipping a whole bunch.
Well, no, we're not. I think that's sort of the next step in the journey of Killian's extremely insane life, kind of.
Yeah.
Like maybe consider writing a book.
That would be a dream.
But
Or
I
have a
would-
movie or a documentary or something like that. But we're not quite there yet.
There you go. I
Relax.
love that.
Film a lot along the way.
I just
I
want
have
to
it all
know
documented. So
if you're nice to yourself, because we talked about that. How's your dialogue inside that little noggin?
what do you mean, like mental health stuff?
Yeah.
How do you talk to yourself?
I don't know. I feel like I'm a pretty upbeat, happy-go-lucky guy who
Yeah.
doesn't take life too seriously because I've been through what I've been through, and I've realized the importance of not worrying and trying to get too bogged down in like the future, where I'm gonna be. Like so many people like have this 5-year, 10-year goals. I've like, fuck, what am I gonna have for breakfast tomorrow? Like, I don't know.
So good, bro.
That's just my mentality. Honestly, anyone that knows me will tell me he just doesn't give a fuck. Like,
Just
and that's just the way it
I
is.
like
Like,
that.
let's just live. Obviously, like you got to think of like certain things, but like when you think about it too much, it really just starts scaring you and bogs you down, and you start getting in your thoughts, and you're like, what the
I know,
fuck is going
fuck
on?
that.
Yeah.
I've been struggling with that myself just because I'm like, sure, I think sometimes what the mind draws anxiety to, it kind of wants you to heal or something. But you're right, if you think about it too much, if you put your thoughts constantly where your vibration is going to drop, it's no bueno for your overall energy.
No.
You got to like get back to what feels good. What do you use as a pivot tool? How do you refocus?
Sponsored by Guinness.
It is fun to have a drinky poos or a
That's what we
smoky
do, too.
poos or a bath or a
No.
wank.
Jeez,
I
I'm
don't
making
know. There's lots of ways to refocus.
No, honestly, I don't know. I just, I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't really thought of it.
Well, I mean, obviously
Well-
you have.
This whole podcast look like a fucking alcoholic. Jesus Christ.
We've
Not
never
even-
actually had drinking on the show ever.
Really, I'm the first.
First time.
Slancha,
Slancha.
Solange, Beyonce's sister.
cilantro.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. I'm glad to hear that because
Yeah, I wish I had a better answer for you, but
No, I
that's,
think that's really nice to hear someone be like, "No, I'm actually pretty nice to myself."
Yeah,
It's
a good
way to
that's
be.
great. Yeah, I wish that for all beings.
nice.
So
Okay, go ahead.
I've been trying to remember the hook from Ian Now's song so I could sing it sporadically from too high.
'Cause you know when it's over.
That's Friends. That was already written.
Oh, you're talking about
the first one.
Because we got some savings.
Saving
to
To
do.
do.
Oh, dude, that's sick,
Yeah.
bro.
I remember that fucking the house now with the smoke and all.
Yeah.
Proper like production. I was like, how the hell is this fucker doing this every day?
Shout out MC2 Media. Yeah, that always
But
helps.
no, they were good times. Then we were carrying this fucking chair out into the forest. For he used to sit in it like kings.
Yeah, you came up with us there too. That's right. Fuck, good
We
time.
gotta get some footage.
You
of
made
this.
an
Oh, yeah.
amazing asset for that song too.
Oh,
You
that
made
was
that,
it. Oh, I
that was a
remember that, yeah.
beautiful piece you made, where we're both sitting
Back to back.
back to
almost,
back.
like, I think, I think it was
yeah.
advertising the single coming out or a live
Yeah.
show
Yeah,
or
that was
something, or-
beautiful. This man just hit me with the most beautiful graphic. It was incredible. So yeah, you're always kind of creating, producing, and then so you did the VaynerMedia, and then you're doing like freelancing, or how did you end up getting in with the UFC? Because I think that's perfect for you, because you're like high energy and like down to ride, and like there's a lot of energy that I feel you can do stuff with, and you were telling us a bit about it, different athletes from different regions. You were thinking of things on the fly.
Yeah.
How did that all happen? Like from there to there, like you were.
Yeah, so it wasn't a straight jump from VaynerMedia to UFC. There was a couple in between.
Bet.
After the VaynerMedia, kind of like I feel like I've graduated from it. Like I sort of done all I could do.
Totally.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. And let the next sort of
Class of
of
SNL
yeah.
style.
Yeah, pretty much.
For creators.
100%, like, yeah. So I did that. So I'll always be thankful of Gary. Like, I remember whenever I was leaving, he was like, we'll do a one-on-one virtually. And there's another me, my entrepreneurial. He was like, we'll book it in for, say, it was August 17th or whatever. We'll do a virtual call. He goes, oh, August 17th. I'm actually in New York. I wasn't in New York. I went down to New York to be in the office with him in person, like, because that's way more,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, you're face to face with the man
For
that
sure.
you idolize.
You
and
have to do that.
He gave me this start working for big creators. I owe it to him almost just to go down and be a part of the room.
Yeah.
So I got in the room, we had a 15, 20-minute chat with him, dapped up at the end, anything you ever need, just reach out. So I've got him to contact that if I ever needed anything, which is great.
So good.
And then
That's
after
great.
Did you tell him about the boat that we want yet?
Which boat?
Gary, you'll learn.
I know what the boat.
The yacht.
I'll take a boat.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the
Remember,
yacht.
he said if anything you ever need, tell him about.
Oh, sorry.
Tell him about our boat, Killian.
Whoosh over the brain. And give me a smoke that way down. I'll get it.
That's me.
But no, and then as that was kind of like coming towards an end, like I don't like to just leave a job without having a stability of something else. I know I always have the freelance stuff, but as you know yourself, like month to month, it's 1 month could be here, 1 month could be there.
Either robbing or stripping.
Yeah, that's it. So in between that, I seen an advert put out similar to Gary Vee was for Andrew Schultz. Obviously, you know in the comedy world, Andrew Schultz has went on to fucking crush it. So Andrew Schultz, one of his producers, put up a same thing like Gary Vee. We're looking for an editor, test edits, blah blah blah, 5-6 interviews. Did that. Not going to bore you with the specifics. It wasn't as crazy as the Velo Cycles sort of thing, but I got hired by Andrew Schultz to work on his podcast.
What the
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
That's dope. I had no idea.
so like the flagrant
Shout out Andrew.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
His new special is
just watching my parents the other day. My
So
mom's not a
funny.
comedy fan, but she was fucking in stitches. Like it was so
Yeah.
funny. Like,
Fucking beautiful.
Andrew, you're a fucking legend.
Amazing.
Legend. So I did that for maybe a year and a half or something like that, and then he was actually touring the Life show, and he came to Toronto, and I was the behind the scenes photographer on that show.
what the fuck?
So I like, but as I was saying, like I had to watch it
He's
again.
in the cut, yo.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Like I know how to knock the right doors. That's what I'm good at. That's what I do.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
I feel
very
like I'm a
charming.
dot connector and
But you
charming.
al- but
the
you
Irish
also-
language. There's a multitude of
You
all
follow
these
through.
different things. Like
You
yeah.
follow through too.
I don't take no for an answer. I'm a stubborn motherfucker. Like
Yeah, but a lot of people that are charming up front sometimes don't follow through. So
That's
you
true.
follow through too and show up. So cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. Next day, the Coach Dills video. Killer, sniper.
I said I'll be there, and I was there. But so he came to Toronto. We did the show. We were like literally chatting on like his friends and family in the Raptors like locker room. So I'm like, this is what is life? This is crazy. I'm just sitting here looking around. There's like all these big comedians sitting next to me. I'm like, who am I in the middle of this? Like, and then he did the show, and then we ended up. He's like, after party. So he ordered a load of big black XL Ubers. We ended up with this club that I knew the manager in. He got us in downstairs. It was like a 4 a.m. late bar. We were hammered and fucking passing around tequila, and we were all getting hammered drunk. Came to 6 a.m. in the morning. We ended up beside my condo on King Street. Not King Slice, some like pizza place that opened up really late. me, Andrew, and the whole team just fucking slapping pizzas like, oh, good job tonight, Killian. Andrew, you killed it. Just chatting about family and life and all in a random pizza shop at 6 a.m. Me and Andrew Schultz just fucking chopping it up.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was fucking cool. Like,
That's epic.
I always remember like he was just the best. Like he
He
couldn't have
seems
been
like a
nicer guy,
dope
like,
dude.
Yeah.
He's
He
so
remembers where he came
talented.
from. He obviously he's rose to
He's hilarious.
astronomical
And
levels, but he
I'm
wasn't-
inspired by him because I heard that he would carry around that note that I'm going to sell out arenas in his wallet when he was doing all the basement shows in New York. And now it's just like he has a great couple podcasts. And God, he's so fucking funny, man.
For sure.
He's nice with it. And he's not afraid to go there. He goes there.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you listen to him and Joe Rogan as well, I can see a lot of myself in him. Like he just kept persisting, just trying to
Yep.
break through.
You see the vision.
Yeah.
Just stick to the
And
vision.
you know you've got it. You work hard to get it. you know?
Yeah. And it's like, if you got it, it's fun to do. Like, you know, it's like, of course you want to create contact. Of course you want to have a sold out show. Of course, like, yeah, like it should feel good.
Yeah.
It feels fun in the heart. Bless, gratitude.
Yeah.
So there you are at 5 a.m. Andrew Schultz, Toronto.
Yeah.
What's the vibe after that in Toronto, hustling for a minute before the UFC came about, or did it come about shortly after that?
No, there's maybe another year or so in between that.
Oh shit.
So I started working for a company called Night Media, who are in charge of running like the biggest talent representation agency in the world. Like they have got like creators like Mr. Beast, Ryan Trahan, Jesser, all the big stars. Like when you think of YouTube top tier, they were part of Night Media.
And what do they do?
Like a talent representation agency, so they have different managers who
Oh,
obviously
word.
get them brand deals and all
Like
that sort of
Studio 71 kind of stuff.
stuff. Kind of like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So like I was in charge of like doing a lot of Mr. Beast short form stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus, you've really just touched on all of the top.
That's what I'm saying. When I go for it, I fucking go for it. Like
You're
you know?
fucking. Also, are you the Rock's trainer?
Does it show?
So good.
Damn.
But yeah, so Night Media, they're amazing. Reed, shout out Reed, he's an awesome guy. Just like such a visionary when it comes to that. He started off working for, I don't know, he seemed Dude Perfect when whenever YouTube was not even really YouTube. And you remember, Dude Perfect with the trick shots and all that sort of stuff. He did,
Dude Perfect?
Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
That little like hook. So they do like crazy basketball shots and all.
From like far away and stuff.
Oh, from like he up in like the top of like stadiums, football
Yeah.
stadiums, they
Yeah.
throw it off.
Yeah.
He seen the value in them that he could help them out, and he reached out to Dude Perfect, sort of similar to what I did to Gary Vee. And one thing after another, he worked for Dude Perfect and built up his legacy. Now he's working for Mr. Beast, or
Wow.
managing Mr. Beast, all these ones. So like
Dope.
same thing. Like I respect
Great
people who
opportunity there.
do like cool fucking shit.
Yeah.
So that happened. I'm still doing a little bit of part-time work with them, but obviously the UFC stuff's the bread and butter. Like it's the main focus. It's what keeps me busy.
And how fun is that being? How
Oh,
did that come to be? You just submit
that's-
yourself, do your thing like usual?
A little bit different, but obviously like all these big jobs, like there has to be a certain like
Walk up.
straighten out process to see who this guy is. He's not a weirdo.
Yeah.
He's not like like a serial killer or whatever.
yeah,
For
they're
sure.
high-profile
Yeah,
jobs.
Exactly. But that really started actually. I organized a trip down to Vegas because obviously I am a combat sports fan. I've been my whole life, even before the whole McGregor bandwagon thing. Like I've been a UFC fan 20 years probably. And then I was down in Vegas for Conor McGregor was fighting Cowboy Cerrone, Donald Cerrone, in 2020, just before shit hit the fan with COVID.
Yeah.
I brought down 13 people and my dad. He came over from New York. He was over in New York at the time, so I flew him over from New York just to come be a part of the posse.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it was cool. Like
13 people?
13 boys and my dad, like stuck in the middle of it. He's not a big drinker at all. He was just like, "Why am I here?"
That's
But
hilarious.
he enjoyed it. Like he was thankful. So we went to the bar. It was a couple of nights before the fight, and I walk up to the bar. Again, serendipity, whatever you want to call it. Who's beside me? Sean Shelby, who's the matchmaker for the UFC fighters.
Oh my
His
God.
sole job is to pick this fighter's going to fight this fighter.
And you know what he looks like.
Oh, of course, I'm a big fight fan, so
Okay.
I know all the big Dana White,
Alright.
Hunter, all that. And then he
Alright,
was at the
alright.
bar right beside me here and there, and me being me, just social guy. Oh, Sean, how's it going? Shook his hand, told him who I was, who I've worked for. He obviously just to give him a bit of like social proof that I'm good, and like I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then I goes, "Shall we do a shot?" And he goes, "We'll do Jameson because you're Irish." And then he's like, "Set up 2 Jameson to the bartender." The bartender goes, "We don't have Jameson. We only have proper 12." Then he turns to me and goes, that old Protestant whiskey.
Ah!
I was like, from that moment, he was like, I'd fucking love this guy.
We're boys.
He's cool as fuck. So then we did a couple of shots of proper 12, McGregor's whiskey. And then I told him again what I did. And I was like, I'd love to grab your email. And, if everything ever worked out, I'd love to work for the team. That'd be a dream job. And then he gave me Eric's email. Took his email, sent an email right away to Sean being like, thank you very much for that. That was awesome for the opportunity of meeting you. And then I will also, being cheeky as well, that in the same email I asked for tickets for myself, my dad, and my brother. Not the other ones, because I know he wasn't going to have 13 tickets out. Any chance we get tickets for tonight? He's like, I wish if you had a message a couple of hours earlier, I could have sorted you out, but I respect the ask. I'm like, well, I mean, if you don't ask, you don't get. I've got that tattooed on my arm as well. So that never happened, whatever. But the main thing was getting the email address of the main content guy for UFC.
Can I just say, if I was watching this like as a movie, I'd be like, oh sure, this guy's just at the bar, and oh sure, they get along great. Oh sure, he's gonna get his email. Like this actually sounds like so. I don't know if many people are having experiences like this.
If you believe and you move forward,
yeah,
you can.
I mean, I'm learning that right now.
The shit in my life just feels like a movie, honestly. It's mad.
Just be a dope hang. Like, the best case scenario can often happen if you just, like, are a dope hang. I love that you asked for it. I'm always like, they got to ask for my number for
I know.
sure.
Do you feel nervous when you're having these conversations?
No, it's probably a couple of Guinness deep as well, so... I'm not...
Maybe I should start drinking more.
You kind of are. Like, when he goes out to do more stand-up.
I have more beers.
Yeah, no, I'm not... I wouldn't say I'm
beer's
a...
all right.
Just one. Yeah, I just have one.
I'm genuinely not like a nervous person. Sometimes, like even today, I'll be straight up. I was a bit like, because I've never really done like a full in-person podcast. But I was like, I know these guys. They're cool.
Come on, exactly.
It'll be fine.
Fellow creators.
So I was
but
like,
you are in front
Thanks
of the
for
camera.
coming.
Of course. No,
Yeah.
thanks for having me. It's great.
Thank you.
What was I saying? So then he gave me the email address.
That's nuts.
And then I emailed him, and then a couple of months went on. Then he's like, we'll set up a one-on-one like Zoom call.
And you're just chilling as these months pass by.
Well, as I said, I was working hospitality. I've worked hospitality.
All right.
Oh, sorry. That was
He had a
burp.
little side hustle.
Hospitality, pretty much the whole time since I started traveling. That was another point to the story as well, which I didn't add. There's so many fucking layers. It's like I'm like an onion. You have to peel it back.
I'm waiting to hear about the other 2 open heart surgeries.
Yeah, literally. Why did we just skim over that? But in 2012, that's whenever after the whole university thing, working in Belfast, as I said, doing the photo shoots for bands and all. My brother, 6 months before me, he went to Australia in September 2011. A lot of people were kind of doing that. They were finishing their courses in university, figuring out what they want to do. What I find themselves, either they went to Australia or they went over to America to play Gaelic football.
Yeah.
So Orton went over to Australia, and then I was just living through his Facebook posts, him cliff jumping off 40-foot cliffs, doing backflips into the water. I'm like, fuck, that's the life.
Yeah.
I had a graphic design job at the time. Didn't love it. I enjoyed it. Like I was like in charge of like designing all like the logos. Like like you see vans driving around the city, they're all wrapped with like these cool like designs. I did all that. Like the shop signs, I did all the designs for that.
Right.
But like I wasn't like content. I always know I wanted to move away from Ireland. Not that I don't love my hometown or home country. It'll always be my home, but I feel like I'm, not to sound big, like I'm better than that, like I'm bigger than that.
But
There's
you
more
grow out.
opportunities
It's
out there.
okay
Like,
to outgrow spaces.
yeah, exactly. I hate the like sort of be, I'm better than that, because I'm a pretty humble person. Like I don't like to think brag. Like, but
You'll go back and smash some shorties from the home cribs, no problems.
fucking hell.
You'll go
I have
hit
no
up.
idea where they're at. They're probably in jail.
That's what I think. I'm like, how many of my friends are realistically still coherent and or free?
Well, actually, funny. I was back over in Ireland there last week. As I said, it was at the UFC London event, and I was like, I'm all the way over the pond. I might as well jump over to Ireland.
Yeah.
For a week, seeing all my homeboys.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Like,
How they doing?
everyone's doing well. They're like all my friends are like really doing well with themselves. They have their own businesses.
Nice.
They've huge big career jobs and all. So
Aging
like,
gracefully.
oh yeah, for sure.
All in good relationships.
Definitely. Everyone seems happy. and
Everyone's fucking.
everyone's fucking.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's
Hell
great.
yeah.
Had a good time at home. But then again, on the opposite side of that, there was a lot of people. I went into a bar to have a drink, and you see the same people sitting there
At the bar.
doing the same spot in the bar,
Yo.
same pint of Guinness, pint of Harp, whatever it was. I'm like, if you're happy with life, fair
Yeah.
enough. But for me, fuck, I could never do that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just stuck in your hometown. Like,
It's nice to even have those reminders.
yeah, no, it really was. Like, sorry to cut you off.
No.
No, just getting back and like having a realization. Like, Actually, there was one moment. I was just at an Airbnb in Belfast. I got a really nice one. I paid a bit extra for the boys. We went to a comedy night. I was looking over the Harland and Wolff where they built the Titanic, and the Odyssey Arena was right there where my friend Paul Hughes is going to be fighting in a month. And then I had a couple of drinks again. See, there's a narrative here. I was sitting over the window, just looking out, just like thinking back of like my life and like this, my hometown and all to where I'm at now, and it just. Sometimes you have to sit down and realize, like, fuck, I've done a lot with my life. I've done well.
Dude, 1,000%.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't do it often enough, but yeah.
That's a powerful moment. I had that driving back into Vancouver with my mom last year. Like, wow, I went and left and did that thing. And then, yeah, it would make you cry. It's enough to make you cry.
Oh, you got, like, goosebumps and you got emotional, yeah?
Like a little baby.
Mm-hmm.
Enough to make you act like a little baby and cry.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
For
good.
sure.
You
What
were
a fun
probably
journey.
a really cute fucking baby.
Yeah, you can see
Yeah.
from this man's
Yeah.
face of his jolly cheeks.
There's
that
an old photo. I'd love to find it. I remember Mum put me in, like, a modeling, like, kids modeling show. I had, like, a denim jacket with
Oh,
my hair
my
was, like, I've
God.
got hair, by the way, guys. I'm just wearing a hat.
Cute.
It was, like, bright white hair, like, curly bap, but she, like, slicked it back, and I was sitting, like, a cool, like, corduroy jacket on the back of the sofa, being like this here. As I say, my dad was a photographer, so we go back home. We sold our house since my parents moved over. That's another part of the story. All our possessions are like in our
Your parents are
cousin's
here?
house. My mum and dad moved. I moved over like 3 years ago. They came over actually during my third surgery just to be there for me because obviously I'm not married or anything like that. That's my family are very, very close to me. I'm so close to them. We're like literally like this.
That's so fucking cute and sweet.
So they come over for the whole,
Are your
like-
other brothers here?
That's the thing. The whole Sexton clan live in Canada. 5 of us are in Toronto. One of them moved over to Halifax, but yeah, we're all in Canada.
Aw,
Wow.
For my parents,
I love
like, you
that.
know, they're not getting any younger. For them to up and move and sell the house and all, that just says a lot about how much they love their sons. Like, they come over
Yeah.
and just do that for us. And
Are they
especially-
enjoying Toronto as well?
They love
though?
it here. Mum's not a big fan of the food, and she'll admit that herself. The food in Ireland's just, even been back home, food's fucking unbelievable.
Is it incredible?
Like,
What?
it's just how creamy the mash is, like the butter, the milk,
Yeah.
the sausages.
That's
like,
fair.
Everything's
Oh,
just
the
so much better.
rich
You guys
food.
source
Just the
so
quality of
much.
food over here is
Yeah.
pumped full of fucking shit.
Right. You guys have more natural.
It's all like grass fed, like animals, and like it's all. As I say, that's why Ireland's so green because it rains all the time, and the
Direct.
pastures are so good.
So the food is literally better.
Oh, it's
And your
Top of this
lovely
world.
mother is
Yeah.
feeling the difference of this Canadian pumped full of GMO.
I want to go there immediately.
Yeah.
I've got recommendations
Taste
for
this
days.
good
When is
food.
it nice? Weather-wise.
Ireland's
It's
pretty like
rainy.
all year around because the pastures are so green. But my best bet would be if you wanted a good week would be July, August.
Yeah.
time,
That's
probably
it,
around
okay.
that, like,
Just straight
you might
up
get like
white
3
people
days
summer.
of 23 degrees would be like fucking everyone's got their tops off at the beach. Like it's not hot. It's not hot, but it feels good because it was one good day in Dublin before I flew back. It was like 18 degrees, but it felt like 20 something over here. I don't know how to explain it.
Right.
I had my t-shirt on. It was great.
Yeah.
It was like a proper summer's day. It was
I
so
just
good.
need
Probably
the
because
weather to be
humidity
nice.
with all the pastures and stuff.
Maybe, yeah.
Is it humid or dry? Do you think?
It's not humid. No.
That's
It's
not humid?
definitely a good breeze. Like it's fine.
Best cheese. I mean, that's a big ass statement. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying that Irish, that Dublin cheddar that I've been
Oh, yeah.
getting got my. Okay,
Oh.
I can't say the best cheese. That's a crazy fucking statement. But some
Irish
really
cheese.
good cheese, just because I know there's gonna be some cheese people out there. Respect, but like this Dublin cheddar, man.
Is there a best cheese? There's so
All
many
cheese
different
is good.
cheeses.
I don't know what the best one is, but the one I was always in our household growing up was called Dramona. There's also a butter, but there's a Dramona cheese. I remember it came, like, I can see the package right now. This red packaging, and I just eat it by the fucking block.
Dramona, yeah.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese is great.
We had Gouda. We
Gouda?
are Dutch.
Right, that's.
Yeah, cheese.
we
One of
have
my brothers, like,
Parmesan.
him and his wife are big into, like, making, like, cheese boards and, like, charcuterie boards and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. So I'm kind of getting a bit more into cheese. Brie cheese when it comes out of the oven, holy shit.
Yeah.
On
Brie-
a bit of that.
The only way to
crunchy
eat
cream,
brie is
brie.
baked
cheese
now.
is unbelievable.
You're not. No one should be serving brie raw anymore.
Oh,
it's
I
not
s-
in.
I
Who's
still
raw
like-
dog and brie?
I still like a creamy brie, triple cream brie,
I don't know.
What's that?
I'm over it.
like a brie. I know it was it was so 2012
yeah.
to do that, But honestly, I like a nice slice of maybe a single cream brie, actually, more firm. And then on like a tostada or something, or on like a French baguette that's been sliced and seared, or some sort of crostini, like a crostini, with maybe a grape.
Oh.
Or a little slice of prosciutto.
Bit of savory and
a little
sweet.
stack.
I like stinky cheeses too. Not to get too far into the cheese
Blue
convo,
cheese, what you will
but
do.
Blue cheese.
yeah, I'll do all sorts of stinky cheese.
Sure.
Except that one stinky that we got recently at Costco was too much. It was like a
Looked like a
creamy
triple
stinky.
cream brie.
Yeah, it,
no
looked, it
good.
was like a stinky brie.
You don't want to get like,
That's just too much like soggy, stinky in one
little.
texture.
Yeah, I haven't got too much into cheese. If they never made a cheese board when I went over to their house, I would never just go to the supermarket and buy cheese.
Make cheese board
because I'm so
made.
used to good cheese at home. I'm like, it's probably gonna be shit.
Yeah.
You know?
If you
It
go into
probably
St.
will
Lawrence
feel
Market,
like shit to you.
you can get some literally Irish cheeses
I've
probably
seen that.
from
Yeah.
St. Lawrence Market. So if you went and did that, but they're premium.
They do a
they're
good
import.
pre-meal bacon sandwich in St. Lawrence
And
Market.
they're
right?
in the front.
They do
kinda-
a lot of good stuff over there.
It's kind of similar to Irish bacon. It's fucking good.
Have you ever had the chicken sandwich right at the front?
Don't
When you
think so.
first walk in, there's a
On the
chicken-
left or right?
On the left.
I know there's a little like fruit and
Which
vegetable
place?
like grocer over there.
Um,
No, to
it's
answer your
next
question,
to the
no,
tea place when you first walk in.
Like when I always go
Tea
right
and
to get the
coffee
pre-meal
place?
bacon sandwich, I don't think I've ever been over left.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, to the butcher, right?
It's a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
chicken
Yo,
sandwich.
the Paddington's restaurant that's there on front, in front of it, they have a.
Which one's that?
It's just that little restaurant on the front of St. Lawrence Market on front.
Good shit.
Yeah, and they have this like hollandaise sauce that's
Oh,
almost like
fucking-
chalky.
Mm.
Like it's so good.
Love
Fuck.
hollandaise
We should
sauce.
do a little vloggy
We should do a little
there.
vlog there. We've been shooting food shows,
Yeah?
vlogs. Yeah,
Do it up.
yeah. We were just in Texas
Nice.
for barbecue.
Sit. Love a good barbecue. Barbecue's
Yeah.
awesome.
It was crazy.
So where'd you just get back from? You're just on a trip.
Yeah, I was in London there with UFC. So like that's the perks of the job. Like I get to be on the road a lot. I was out in Dubai and
And they provide
Saudi Arabia.
everything: hotels,
Wow.
transportation, hookers.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you got the company card, and as long as you don't.
Would you
fucking
say you're
go mad
living
with
the
it.
life right now?
Fucking right. Amen.
That's
I am
beautiful.
100% living the life. It's everything I thought and more is.
You got the
is
company
happening,
card,
like,
and you can just live your life on the road. Like grab
Well, I
some
mean,
nice
obviously
lunch.
within reason, I'm not going to be an idiot. Like
You can't go to the ATM and get $1,800 in cash for strip shows in the day.
I did that once and he didn't like it. No, obviously they cover the airfare, the accommodation, then you get like a daily allowance for food, and then you go out for team dinners, and it's cheaper to be on the road than cheaper to be at home.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
no, I was over in Dubai and Saudi Arabia there for one of the events. They had the first UFC out in Saudi Arabia, which was holy shit. It was
You were there for that?
It was insane. I had to be on my best behavior. Definitely no Guinnesses out
Yeah,
there.
I was like, is there alcohol
it's a
there?
dry country.
Yeah, it's dry country.
So I was
Just weed.
weed. Are you
Yeah,
serious? I
just
don't know.
weed.
You'd get beheaded.
Yeah, literally.
No.
Oh, speaking of that, not beheaded.
But
That
I'm
would have
a
been
white
weird
guy.
walking in the street. But walking down the street, I was in a mall. You see guys with one hand completely gone. And I found out that's because they've done like something wrong. Like
They caught stealing.
or something to get the hand cut off.
That's fucking
One time
nuts.
I ordered an Uber, or it's called Kareem, from the hotel, because in Saudi there's really not much to do except for hanging around the hotel in between like being busy with work. So I Ubered to a mall just for something to do. I know there was no bars. I wasn't going to go socialize with somebody, but just walk around a mall and see different outlets or whatever. To my
shopping
to
center?
my to my disknowledge, or if that's even a word, I arrived at the mall. Some Kareem driver dropped me at like 11 a.m. The shops don't open to 2 p.m. So I was walking around an empty mall. I was like, it's still better than walking around the same hotel I've seen it 100 times.
Yeah.
Like, just walking in circles.
The shops don't open till 2.
Yeah, there's such weird opening hours in Saudi
Is
Arabia.
that like maybe a church and state type agreement that this is like you shouldn't be consuming too early in the day?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't all just food. There was like clothing stores there. There was actually one supermarket at the bottom was open, but there was maybe 3 people in it. So I was just walking around the aisles, just seeing was there any Irish cheese. But no,
Is there anything like nail salons or massages or spas or anything?
I didn't notice, but I actually noticed a Tim Hortons, which was hilarious.
No way.
We're driving by, so
Well, that's a drug.
yeah, get that coffee pumped in. I didn't get a chance to go because from the hotel it was so far
I
away.
feel like from what I envision Saudi Arabia as like, Tim Hortons would stick out like the sorest thumb there.
Yeah. They're like, oh, look, it's that Canadian place.
Hmm.
But isn't everything like really beautiful there, like in terms of?
It is.
Sneeze, I
We
think.
envision gold and white and the streets being air conditioned.
No. No, that's Dubai for sure. Dubai, I was there for the week before that.
Right.
For a friend's fight. He fights in a different organization, but
There's still like a lot of money though in Saudi
Oh no, there is,
Arabia,
but
right?
just it's so strict. But the team were telling me, they're trying to be like Saudi Arabia in 15, 20 years. I was like, well, if you don't change some rules, it's never going to be that. You're never going to get tourism who can come to a place and don't. They
right.
can't go to a bar for a drink. They can't have dresses
Yeah, why would
above
anyone?
their or below their or above their knees. Everyone you seen was just girls covered up. You didn't see anybody.
What do
You-
the
you
sluts
couldn't
do?
see, huh?
What do the
Well,
sluts
oh,
do?
speaking of that, it's hilarious because walking in the mall, there was a fucking Anne Summers or a Victoria's Secret.
Ah.
I'm like, where did they get a chance to fucking
Yeah.
show it off? Like, obviously in the bedroom, but
Yeah.
I just thought it was so like ironic that
Yeah.
everyone's like literally covered head to toe, and then there was a Victoria's Secrets in the mall. I'm like, that's mad.
Is there any sluts?
No comment.
Are you talking about like sex workers?
No, sexually
On Dubai,
promiscuous
in Dubai,
people.
that's holy shit. Every bar you're
Everywhere?
at, literally, you think you're getting on well with the girl. How much? Then they're just giving you their fee. I'm like, oh, fuck off! Like, come on, just trying to have a good time normally, like
Oh
Yeah.
wow! Normally having a
Yeah.
shit. Oh my gosh, Dubai, eh?
Dubai is filled.
So
with
you
them.
go there, Dubai. You go to Dubai,
I
Dubai.
wanted to buy first because I knew rightly I couldn't have as much fun in Saudi Arabia. So
Yeah.
I'll get my fun out of the way and then go to Saudi Arabia.
Nice. Very nice. How much?
Sure.
That's crazy.
Number one.
You are number one prostitute at this
All in
bar.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia. Would I go back?
They're the
as
Kareem
a-
drivers.
Oh yeah, Kareem drivers. Yeah. Oh, that was another story. The Kareem driver that took me over to the mall. We got on really well. He apparently lived in Spain for 9 years, and I also did a stint. I lived in Barcelona with a couple of brothers for a year.
Shit.
We were like party promoters. It was fun.
Holy shit.
Yeah. What's my point? Oh, we were driving over as well, and then he just randomly was like, "You seem like a good guy. I'm gonna go over to my brother or over to my friends with his mother's house for dinner. Do you want to come? Like in Saudi Arabia, you're not gonna go off the beaten track at all." And me being me, I just say yes to everything. I was like, "Yeah, I'll go." And then I went into the mall. I realized it was all shut down, but I still walked around for like 30 minutes. And then I called the boy because he gave me his personal number. I was like, "You seem cool. If I ever need to get driven around, you can do it. I'll give you the money directly instead of giving it to Cream." Allegedly. But and I called him up. I was like, I didn't realize everyone was closed. Can you come pick him up to show me some like proper like Saudi Arabia that I would not have seen otherwise? He was like, yeah, I can do that on the way
Nice.
to go to the dinner. But then as he picked me up, he told me, he's like, "Oh, Killian, my brother, I'm sorry." I called my friend and his mother was there. She feels uncomfortable at bringing some random person. So I didn't end up going, but that would have been hilarious if I ended up sitting eating dinner with these random Saudis. Like,
Yeah.
But
That's so funny.
it didn't end up happening, but that was,
Wow.
I'm sure there would have been a story there. But
That's so funny. Oh man. Shit.
and then, oh, you were saying where was I last? It was London. So I was back in Toronto. I work from home. I go into the office a couple of days a week.
The office here?
There's an office, UFC office here in Toronto, yeah.
Cool.
But I get my best work done when I'm at home and I just get the headphones in, as I'm sure you know, just when you're doing your
No
music production,
pants.
just 100%.
Yeah.
Jesus, definitely.
Yeah.
You're doing Zoom meetings and here you're fully dressed. Below you're like,
Yeah.
hope the camera doesn't pan down.
I send videos to clients like topless all the time.
Oh no,
I
but
realize
yeah,
halfway through and I'm like,
that's what rappers do. They're always,
yeah, I know. I
always
got
top-
blunt my mouth, hair all messy,
Yeah.
no shirt on. So I'll fuck with y'all. So let's fucking do
Let's
it.
do
Exactly.
Let's work.
It's
Let's
just
work.
time out, bro.
Yeah.
No, man.
So yeah, I was working from in between, and then London was the most recent one. I was there March 22nd. So I arrived on St. Paddy's Day actually into London,
There you
which
go.
was fun.
That's fun.
But obviously it was the next day I was working, so I
They're
went,
like, we ordered some more Irish.
so I went to just some random bar and had a Guinness because I had a busy week at work. I didn't really hung
And
over.
when
I
you
was
say
like,
a Guinness,
no, it actually was. Believe it or not, it was a Guinness.
how big was the a Guinness?
Fucking I don't know.
Oh, Win, we have been producing Paradox Lives now for years.
And we've always used the same online sales platform.
Selling tickets has been one of the more difficult things to do. Not that selling tickets to our community is hard, the demand is there, but actually managing and understanding our sales flow
And feeling supported by the platform.
which I never have before. I've never experienced that. So we are so happy and excited to announce our friends Jump Comedy. Like, this platform has everything you could dream of as a creator. In fact, it gives you your money earlier and faster, so you have it.
Minimal low transaction fees.
Simple. The interface is simple. You can make a profile on it. I made like an Ellevan profile that other people can find me on that, follow me, or look at our content to see if they want to come to a show.
Yeah, there's so much to do on this platform. Once you get on, you'll have to explore it because it can really level up your producing.
So helpful. It helps the creator with generating some revenue for your event, and it helps people to have an easy process of getting tickets.
One of the coolest features that I found of it was that if you have 2 shows in one night and someone buys a ticket to one show and I didn't realize there was an earlier show. I'd prefer to come to the earlier show. I have to get up in the morning. They can just switch out that ticket. So they don't have to refund their old ticket and go to the they can just do a little swap-a-roo, and you've held on to your customer. The people behind Jump Comedy are in comedy. They know producing, and they've set up this platform specifically for producers. Get on Jump Comedy today.
So we're very grateful. We're happy to be out here rocking with them. Go sign up, lower transaction fees, get your money quicker, and just like you'll feel it on the interface. It's just like more there for you than trying to stretch you and turn you into something you're not. It's beautiful. It's for artists. We'll put a link to sign up in the description below. So follow that. And then also get your tickets to Paradox Live.
Yeah!
Just a regular Guinness. And then I met up with the team, and then we, the way it works in the UFC fight weeks is like, obviously the fight's on a Saturday night, the pay-per-views. Tuesday, the fighters check into the hotel, they fill out all the contracts, and they check in, and then they sign posters, do all these media obligations. So I'm there, obviously not just me, there's a full team, filming like that for social media, filming them, signing the posters. Then we make like a little media day recap of the Tuesday.
Yeah.
Same thing, Wednesday would be like a flow over from Tuesday, then Thursdays would be the press conferences, when they're all the fighters sitting up like this with the microphones, and all the media out there asking questions about same old questions. How are you going to win on Saturday? You have to answer the questions. So my job is afterwards to cut that up, make like a little recap of that, and then you do like the face-offs. You put the face-offs together. They're facing off, and you put a bit of music to make it sort of interesting, and then Friday would be the official weigh-ins when they're like all depleted and they're like skinny as hell, like weighing in. You have to edit that as well. And then Saturday night would be fight night. That's the big night. And then whenever I'm not out on the road, I'll be at home editing live all the fights. So obviously, if there's a crazy knockout happens, everything has to be like 2 minutes ago. Whereas like you got to be on your shit like fast.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck. So you are that mentality of being on the line of executing and like drawing through results.
But it's just all these previous ones I worked for. As I talked about the line, having that experience. Now I'm like, you're not just dropped in the deep end. I know exactly how to do it.
Yeah. And then you're sending off and uploading assets. What's the process there? Like a Dropbox folder or something?
There's a huge big Dropbox folder. Yeah, and then we have like Slack is like our messaging platform. A few other content management systems where we delegate jobs, who'd be where on fight night, who'd be octagon side for this fight, who'd be doing the walkbacks. You see them after they win the fight, their emotions are at an all-time high. You're filming the walking back. Oh, great win, man. How did you feel? And then you're getting the true emotions coming out of it. Yeah. You're following the back. You get the light up here, and you're trying to walk back by like a little walkway which is no wider than this. You're trying not to trip over fucking curtains and like, you got to be. Know what you're doing, and you turn corners while looking this way, and also trying to like, not fall over. It's fun. Like as I say, I like to live in the chaos. I could not just do.
What are you filming on your DSLR there? Or?
Oh no, we have cameras at the UFC office. It's a Sony like mirrorless camera, so top of the range sort of stuff. Like
yeah. Wow, that's brilliant.
Awesome. Like
that's a big job, man.
So exciting.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot of responsibilities, and it's fun. Like
Are you getting massages?
I did get massages, and I actually have a bad back. I'm sure you'll notice in watching this long form.
No, you've been very good.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep my posture. I've been getting better, but
me too.
We're getting better. I mean, it's part of the benefit, so I would definitely take advantage of that, going to chiropractors and physio through the after surgery, because actually after the third surgery here, so I've had 2 in Ireland and 2 here. I'm sure we'll get talking to that. We'll go back onto that tangent at some stage. Yeah. After the third one, I feel like whenever they were stitching me up, quote unquote, like putting me back together with a scar, I felt like my back was kind of a little bit twisted, so they sent me to a physio, and it's definitely helped a lot.
Good.
And then as a part of the company, it just shows how good the company are. like on the card, and I could order like an ergonomical chair and like one of the motorized desks, and also I can
Great.
stand, take 30-minute sessions and stand.
They're
sit and all.
equipping you.
Of course, yeah. They want to see if the better you are, your health, the better work you're going to do. So it all works hand in hand.
Doesn't it? It makes so much sense for employers to treat their employees well.
You think that's just common knowledge, but people don't. Yeah.
Can you hire a masseuse to show up at 9 a.m. every day to massage your feet?
Are you good?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
We'll do a
He
handshake.
actually is.
Spit.
He's very good.
Let's do it.
That's
Okay,
hilarious.
we do have to start wrapping up.
Yeah. This has been such a
we're
good
gonna-
It
conversation.
felt like it was like 20 minutes.
I know,
Flew in,
exactly.
holy
We're
shit.
gonna have to come back for
we'll
a
do a
second.
follow-up.
Yeah,
Oh, let's do a
follow-up
part 2.
pod.
I'm down. 100%.
Yeah, we got to do that.
Because there's more. You're a very interesting man. You're the most. Is that the Guinness guy? You're
The
the most
Dos Equis.
interesting man
Split the
in
G
the
guy.
world.
That's what I've been known as, unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
The last one, but yeah.
But no, bro, you're so fun. I'm sure like your story inspires many people. It does me. It's so cool to
Same.
see you work and create with you and see where your journey continues to take you. It's lovely to just know that you're out there being the creative force that you are, man.
Yeah,
And-
congrats on your vitality and like just I don't know everything you've been through and seeing just you seem like you are really grabbing life by the balls.
Yeah,
you know?
having a beer with God.
Yeah. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me on. I'd
You have
love
good
to come
energy,
back. Yeah,
man.
thank you.
I feel like calm
blessed,
and
bro.
happy.
Sick.
Yeah.
Right here.
That,
for
ma-
the
that,
pound.
I'm sorry. That makes me happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, plenty more stories.
And I
where
know that
goes,
that's
so,
going
yeah.
to translate to
Yeah, well.
these guys. So
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys.
Where can people follow you and catch up with you?
Instagram, Mr. Mr. Killian Sexton. Same thing with my website, killiansexton.com. YouTube, just search Killian Sexton. You'll find all of my world travel, crazy GoPro adventures. We get some shit that probably should be on YouTube, but it's there. So
Do you still have parkour videos up?
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go
If you want to
watch
go
this.
deep dive way back to 2006, you'll find it there
Immediately.
somewhere, yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, anyway, again, thanks very much for having
Thanks
me.
for
Love, brother.
Yeah.
Inspiring,
Sick.
man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Bye,
Okay,
everybody.
subscribe.
See you next
Tell
week.
a friend. Send nudes. Follow Killian.
Send
Love
me
you.
news,
Bye.
Mr. Killian Sexton.